Salam alaikum to all the Muslims and peace be unto all the non-Muslims. I'm making this video because people said they couldn't hear me in my last video. Basically this video is going to be a response to Pat Condell. Basically all Pat's videos, I've seen them time after time and I've bit my tongue and I've just had my patience and I haven't said anything. I just thought let this ignoramus just make his videos insulting, cursing Muslims and not do anything. But this last video took the liberties. I mean, he really like said that Muslims were backwards and that Muslim law is backwards and that the Muslims are barbaric and they basically need to go back home and so forth. And basically all Pat does in all his videos is just mention bad things about Muslims, bad things about Muslims, bad things about Muslims. And basically, he never mentions anything good. So I'm going to return the favor now. And all I'm going to do, yes, there's good things that happen in London. Yes, there's obviously good people in London and so forth. But this video is just to balance all Pat's videos out and basically respond to all the bad things that he's done, said about Muslims. So this video, just like Pat's, is not going to mention the good stuff that exists. This is just going to comment on all the bad stuff that exists. Yeah? So therefore, if anyone thinks I'm unfair, you have to think Pat is unfair. Oh yeah, and as for them Einsteins out there that left, out of all the things they could leave on my comments, they chose out of all the sentences and all the quotations they could choose, they chose to put F you nigger and F you Packy. These are all Pat's friends. I just like to say thank you for that fountain of wisdom. I'm gonna maybe memorize it, stick it up on my wall because I think they are priceless words that are articulate, intelligent, and are just beautiful. And I thank you for that contribution. I actually thank you for taking the energy to type it into the keyboard and think about it and put it down. Like, you must be an amazing individual. And I don't know where you get your inspiration from, but it's remarkable. So anyway, let's go and deal with Pat's video about Muslim countries being barbaric, and Muslims being backwards. Okay, Pat, let's look at the two countries, yeah? First of all, like I said, I want to start off with incidents that actually happened in the UK recently. Okay, guys, you lot won't know, but in the last, I'd say 7 months, we have an epidemic of schoolboys, yes, from the age of 13 upwards, killing other schoolboys or, and so forth, or like people around 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, around these ages, killing each other. So therefore, Pat, let's look what's really barbaric. When was the last time in a Muslim country, Pat, where two boys, yeah, of that age, yeah, ran into someone's house, yeah, shot him in his bed, yeah, while he was sleeping in front of his sister, like what happened in Clapham? When was the last time that happened in a Muslim country, Pat? Pat, when was the last time, like last week, when 20 guys on bicycles chased down one guy and shot him in Stockwell? When was the last time that happened in a Muslim country, Pat? That's barbaric. Okay, let me tell you something else. The dad the other day, who basically wasn't doing anything wrong. He went outside, yeah, to stop commotion outside his front door or whatever, and he was killed. When was the last time that happened, Pat, in a Muslim country? Okay, let me tell you something else, Pat. Let me something else. The boxer, the guy that was in a pub, and basically there's no smoking ban in England, so you can't smoke in public places. Someone was smoking, and basically this guy, he asked him to put the cigarette out. Do you know what happened to the guy? He got shot, and later he was on his life support machine, and his parents asked for it to be turned off. That's barbaric, Pat. When was the last time that happened in a Muslim country? Someone asked someone to put a cigarette out and they got shot and died from it. See, Pat, before you start talking about our problems, what gives you the moral high ground to tell us about Muslims, about their problems? First of all, Pat, you have the highest crime rate. You in America and Europe, yeah, have the highest crime rate by far. There's not even a Muslim country that comes close to you, bruv. You have the highest robbery rate. You have the highest burglary rate. You have the highest theft rate. You have the highest aggravated burglary rate. You have the highest fraud rate, bruv. Okay, that's robbery and crime. Let's go to your social activities. You have the highest divorce rate. You have the highest teenage pregnancies. You have the highest sexually transmitted disease. You have the highest AIDS count. You in America. You have the highest gonorrhea rates. Everything. Yeah, that's messed up, you far outbeat us, bruv. So before you start talking about us, take a microscope and start looking at your own problems before you start using a telescope and looking at our problems. Yeah. Secondly, you're talking about barbaric. Look at the way you treat old women in this country, bruv. People who have daughters and sons, yeah, when their mother or their father gets old, they throw them in old people's home because they become an inconvenience. You telling me that's not barbaric? How dare you? You should be ashamed, Pat, to even open your mouth that you got young people in this society that throw their mother and their fathers in old people's home because they can't be bothered to look after them. What are you talking about? If you can't manage, that's understandable, but I'm talking about a record rate of people throwing their mothers and fathers into old people's home and not going to visit them. And I know because of someone in my family, yes, basically does this work where they go around to people's homes and basically look after them. Also, another thing about old people in this country. Look at old people in this country. How many people every week in this country, an old woman gets punched up, gets thrown on the floor, gets kicked in her head because some young strong boy wants designer clothing, yeah, can't bother to work, goes and beats the hell out of her and takes her pension. See, the difference between criminals in a Muslim land and criminals in a Western land is that criminals in a Western land fear the law, but the victims fear the criminals in England. Yeah. In London, in America, in all these other places, the victims fear the criminals. What do I mean by that? We all know many times in London, burglars have broken into someone's place to take stuff. Yeah? And when that burglar is taking something, yeah, the person who owns the house and worked his blood, sweat and tears, pays his taxes, worked 9 to 5, you know, even longer than that now, yeah, to earn his stuff, he wants to scare these people off, so he tries to attack them. How many times has someone broke into someone's house and when that person tried to stop them because they don't want their goods being taken, that person's been in prison, or that person's been arrested, or that person being fined? We know the case about the person who basically people broke into his house and he went after them with a shotgun, yeah, and he ended up going in prison and getting big years. See the difference, the reason why you haven't got these barbaric things that are happening, you know, like these boys, you know, feeling that they can go and kill other teenagers, you know, and get away with it, or even if they do get caught, is because they know in a Muslim country, if a young boy kills, yeah, another boy, yeah, he knows that there's a chance he can be killed himself. But if he knows that all he's gonna get is 6 years, 5 years, 7 years, he think, well, I'll be out in a couple of years, and also I'm gonna have rep when I get on the road, as known as a murderer. That's why all your criminals, your robbers, your killers, your fraudsters and stuff like that, they think, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna work. I'm just gonna rob, steal, you know what I'm saying, and beat people down for their money, make them work for it, and beat them down for it, yeah, and take it off them, because I'm only gonna go in jail for a little while, and then I'll be back out again. You see what I'm saying? We're in a Muslim country. If you steal, not for food or for money, or not for food or for because you actually need to eat and you're starving or anything, but if you steal material goods, your hand's gonna get taken, bruv. So I know if you put all these people doing robberies and muggeries and killings and all this stuff, you put them in a Muslim country, bruv, they're gonna stop ASAP, because you're gonna think about it if your hand's gonna get chopped. But how many people actually get their hands chopped? Less than double figures a year, bruv. You see what I'm saying? So before you start talking about the Muslim, and you wanted to talk about women, don't even go there with women, bruv. Our women are like queens just because they wear clothes that fit them. Yeah, they're oppressed. What? Because they want to wear clothes? What? Because a woman doesn't want to walk around in a little girl's clothes and little girl's tops with her chest and butt hanging out? Oh, yeah, listen. Tell me where we want to sell anything in a Muslim country, yeah? Where we tell a woman. Tell me where in a Muslim country where we've got a young girl of 19, 18, 16 years old. Sorry, 18, 19, 20 years old. And we say, look, we want to sell this car, but the car's crap. So strip down to your brown knickers. Here's $3,000, and we need you to do this because the car is crap. In Western society, you view your women as crap, bruv. All you see your women is breast and legs. That's it. How many of your women have self-esteem problems, trying to cut their wrist, looking at the mirror and hating their bodies? You know, at what 13 years old, 15 years old, 14 years old, 16 years old, and there's nothing wrong with them because your society says, listen, you ain't worth. If you don't have a nice body in the society, you ain't worth nothing. You treat your women like toys, man, sex toys. That's what the only reason you make your women exist in your society is basically to get butt naked, sell cars, sell papers, sell chocolate, sell biscuits. That you don't want them for their brains, you don't want them for their intelligence, you don't want them for anything else. If a woman gets a job in the city, she doesn't even get paid the same. And if she comes to work, she has to wear a skin tight suit for the boys, show some cleavage, show her bum and all this. So before you start talking about us, look at yourself, man. I'm out.